show. Hey, our mics are hot. And that is us. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, children of all ages, welcome to the 31st showing of the Old Humble Distilling Company Quarantine Happy Hour. I am here with the lovely and talented and charming and beautiful and smart and amazing, here on this side, Lou'a Louise. Say hi to everybody. Yeah.
Hello, everybody.
Let's see. You're to my right, this way.
Okay.
Okay.
So, is that where you are?
Yeah, that's right. There, we're pointing at each other. Perfect. The magic of Zoom.
Beautiful. Because for me, you're down here. So.
I got you. Okay, fair enough. You are my first ever live musical guest on the show, and I could not be more excited about this because I was first introduced to you and your music at one of JBZ's plug and play open mic. No, wait, it was not a plug and play open mic. It was a plug and play storyteller. The round table.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow, that was a while ago now.
It was super awesome. He started doing those again for about a month, and then we've had to shut those dumb things back down, unfortunately, because dumb bars back down, not the plug and plays, because those are awesome, which is unfortunate. But we'll get to talking about all of that stuff in just 1 minute. First things first, I do my opening shot, and I remind everybody to support their local artists. I got to move my camera here, my Facebook camera. We're doing an opening shot with our Special Reserve whiskey. This episode of the Old Humble Distilling Happy Hour, Old Humble Distilling Company Quarantine Happy Hour, is brought to you by Special Reserve whiskey. It is delicious, nutritious, and it'll make you a better dancer. Made from 90% corn, 10% malted barley, aged 5 years, used bourbon barrels, and then finished in 5-gallon barrels right here in Humble. Cheers. Okay. And now I pour my cocktail. I don't have a story to go with my cocktail. It is simply a Special Reserve on the rocks. Ooh. Got that Facebook? Special Reserve on the rocks.
On the rocks.
There. See, about a double shot on some ice. Now, you people go back over here into the corner, watching me talk to Lou'a. Sorry. Okay, so, madam, you are one of the many artists who have lost their venues to perform at, huh?
Yes, this is true. Very, very sadly true.
That is, and it has been, what are we talking now? Since March, gosh, y'all been out of a venue since March 14th-ish?
I think, March 13th was the last live gig I had, which is now almost 4 months. It's a week away from 4 months without a live entertainment, which is probably the longest I've gone since I started doing all this, and it is quite painful.
Good Lord.
Surprisingly.
And one of the reasons why I now have a show that I'm doing twice a week, hosted by the Cabin Fever live stream, Cabin Fever Live Network. It was a bunch of folks over. Basically, it was a bunch of folks over from Darwin's, a bunch of talented people. They also lost all their venues, and they're like, we're going to do some stuff to keep us, one, keep us occupied, two, help to get paid. So if y'all want to support local artists, here's how you can do it. Cabin Fever Livestream at gmail.com via PayPal. Or you can go find the lovely Lou'a Louise on the social networks as I'm watching my crawl slowly go by. Here she is on Instagram. That's her handle there on Instagram. Here's her page on Facebook. You do live shows on the Facebook page, don't you?
Well, I did. I was doing those for a few weeks at the beginning of quarantine, and then I got hit with that beautiful, good old quarantine depression that I hear was going around. And I decided that, this is the one time in my life where I don't, absolutely have to promote everything and do the social media thing. Yeah. And I was like, wow, I can rest, and it's not going to be me losing money. So I decided to do that, but I just moved. A whole lot's happened since the beginning of the quarantine, but I recently moved and finally got Wi-Fi. So now that I have Wi-Fi, I got that real fast, what is it called? The really fast Wi-Fi that comes through it's the fiber optics.
That's the fiber optics, because the 5G is the one that gives you the Rona. They get the microchips in your brain to
Oh yeah, you
start
better watch out for
releasing the
that.
coronaviruses, and that sends the tentacles out, and then they start controlling your brain with your actions and doing the stuff. And
Is
you know,
that what's happening?
next thing you know, you're eating nuts and bolts right off the
Oh,
hardware shelf at Ace Hardware. Yep, that's the thing. I read about it on the internet, so it's
so
clearly
it's
real.
true. It has to be. It has to be. If it's on the internet, it's
Yeah,
true.
and
Yeah,
then it
no.
makes you go buy all the toilet paper.
Yeah, I went into Costco the other day and they were out of toilet paper again. I was like, oh, round two, huh? We're already there? Okay, we're doing
I
it.
have a source for toilet paper. I'm not telling anybody
Ooh.
where it's at. They always have it. They have the dry toilet paper. They have the wet toilet paper. The wet wipes that you can.
Oh yeah.
I've yet to try those. I've never been that desperate, but
Here you are.
they just
Have you never been camping? That's like crucial camp showers.
well, you see, I'm a guy, so I can pretty much do whatever I want when I go camping. I'm able.
Number
Now,
375, why I wish I was born a man.
yeah,
Yes. Rub it
my
in.
lovely wife, on the other hand, she tells us, we're gonna go if we go camping, we have to have showers, or we have to be within a day's drive of a shower. We can't be doing this roughing it thing where you go a week and you just live off the land and
Oh.
come back and jump in a pool. She does not do that. That is not her style. That is not how she works. Hang on one second. Hey, Facebook world,
Yeah.
you need to go over, click that link down there, go over to the YouTube. Bye. Boop. All right, they're gone.
Ha.
There.
Quick.
That's exciting. So now they get a taste of what we're talking about. They can go find us.
There you go.
And I can turn off
Perfect.
my phone there. Actually, I have one comment over here from the where we got over here
Ooh,
the
comments.
Twitter
Yeah,
world.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
Chris is telling me that he's out of whiskey and he needs to stock up, and I agree with him. If he's
Ooh,
out of whiskey, he needs to stock up. So that's it.
absolutely.
Okay,
Which
so
Chris is this? Is this the Chris I know?
it is Chris Kruppa. So hi,
Oh,
Chris.
never.
He's
Hi,
one of
Chris.
my
I
he's one of my
don't
Twitter
know you.
peeps, my tweeps.
I've never done the Twitter thing.
I know that.
Oh, I guess you realize that now.
Because I'd
Yes.
stalk you if you were on the Twitter thing, and I would watch all of your stuff on the Twitters.
Right. Maybe I should. Oh, I should have also put, if people care enough to support starving artists, I should have put my Venmo in the links in which I sent you to put in the description. I
What
don't know
is
if
your
people
Venmo?
are
I'll add it right
doing
now.
that. It's exactly Lou'a Louise. It's my Instagram handle. It's the same thing. It's just Lou'a Louise.
Okay, let me get this
I
one.
think. Let me double
pull
check.
that.
I think
Is this
that's
it? There it is. Okay, I got it. And VNMO at oops, I put at, not at, and the Instagram one, right?
Yeah, it's the Louise. Louise.
UALOUISE. Oh,
Dun-dun-dun-dun.
LOUALOUISE. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Got it.
There you go. That's a nice
All
one.
right, so there you go. Support your starving artists. These people have rent. These people have y'all got to buy glitter and bangles and all the stuff that artists need to buy.
Well. Accurate.
Support your artists. I mean, if you don't, there's no better way to prove to people how important entertainment can be than being cooped up in a house and getting to the end of your Netflix feed, and then them having to sit there and look at each other and have a conversation.
Oh yeah, have to actually. That's why hardware stores are so full, because everybody realizes how much they hate their houses.
Oh yeah, I've got to be in this thing for 12, 15, 24 hours a day. Holy crap, I need new floors. Yeah, that is absolutely how it is. Okay, so that's all of our housekeeping stuff. Support your local starving artist, cabinfeverlivestream@gmail.com through PayPal.
Yeah.
But more importantly, you can support this particular artist who is a fantastic singer, songwriter, storyteller. The voice, the guitar, everything you do is entrancing. It's amazing. I love it. Support your starving artist. You can support her by subscribing, following her on the Instagram, following her on the Facebook, or even just going direct to the, here it comes, hang on, here it comes, direct to the source with the Venmo. And on Venmo, damn it, this crawl is slow. Venmo her at, there it is, Lou'a Louise. Of course, you can always support the Old Humble Distilling Company by going to Specs and buying a bottle of whiskey, or
You
2,
should do
or
that.
6, because you've probably got friends. So there you go. So, how long have you been playing?
Okay, let me think about that.
We'll just
Right
jump
about
right on
10
in. How
years
long have you been
now.
playing then?
Yeah, that's a good start. I guess I've been playing guitar about 10 years now, and singing for about 11 years. I played ukulele a little bit first and then jumped over into guitar. So
Very cool.
yeah,
How long have you been
yeah.
doing it? Is that professionally? 11 years professionally, or just 11 years period?
No, just period. Professionally, well, okay, so I started doing, I'm probably younger than anybody thinks I am, so we'll start with that. But it's always a shock, even though I think I look 12. But I started doing like open mics in bars and stuff like that when I was 14. And then I managed to catch a few gigs then. And so I've been doing those. I guess you could do the math. Do I say my age? I'm going to leave it a mystery.
I think we
But
can do the math on that. If you've been doing it
yeah.
professionally for 11 years and you started open mics when you were 14, we can guess you're probably in your late 20s.
Oh no. No, I've been doing it all together for 10, 11 years. I've
Oh,
only been
gotcha.
doing it professionally since I was 14. So
Good God. You are.
Yeah.
So that explains why you don't really drink that much, because you're like 19 years old.
Oh no, I'm not that young. Luckily, I'm just barely, like, I'm right past it. I could legally drink your drinks now. I don't know if that was the case when I met you, but I can at this point in time. But yeah, well, I drank. Yeah, right. I drank more before I was of age, which I think was kind of like a power card. And
Yeah,
then because
that's
I
pretty
never,
common.
for whatever reason, I'm playing in bars all over Houston starting at 14, and nobody ever carded me, which is funny because like I probably looked like 10 years old, and nobody ever carded me until after I turned 21. And like now I'm like, well, I got nothing to prove. I don't really like alcohol, so I don't really drink a lot. Like occasionally with friends a little bit, but it's not my drug of choice, so to speak.
Gotcha. I hear that. So I'm gonna ask you, if you don't mind, can we get a
All
quick
right.
little song now?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
That
So
sounds
this is
good.
what
Let's
we're gonna
see.
do. I'm gonna tell the Twitter world that
Okay.
I'm pointing over here at this side of the
Uh-huh.
screen because that's where I have my list of channels. I'm gonna tell the Twitter world we're gonna get one song out of you, and then I'm gonna turn it off. And if they want to hear more, they've got to go over to the YouTube channel. Take that.
I like it. I like your style. I gotta think about what I'm gonna do here. Let's see.
Okay.
Okay. So I have not finished writing any of the songs I started during quarantine. So I probably only have one song that's officially a new post quarantine song. I'm not gonna start with it because I'm sure you're gonna call me back in a little bit and I'll warm my voice up
That's
first.
fair. I'm going to yield the screen to you for the song so you can tell all about the song, and we come back, we'll chat a little bit more about your career and your influences and all the other stuff. And then
All that good stuff.
I mean, I'm still going to be here. It's not like I'm going to go into the other room or anything.
Into the
I'm
ether.
watching.
All right. That'll give me enough time to figure out what I'm going with here.
Fair. Oops.
Yeah, I'll go with something less sad. I like my sad, melancholy music. I'll stay away from that a little bit.
See if that worked.
Dun, 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 dun.
I've done something on my screen. Hold on one second. Hang on. Before you start, I messed up my screen.
You're good. Take your time. I have it in my hands now and I can't not fiddle with it.
Okay. All right. So we're going to, okay, I fixed my screen. Something. Okay, well, did that work? All right, I think we're ready for you. Cut. Nope. We've got a frozen screen here. Hold on one second. Let me see if I can fix whatever I broke, because we've got a frozen. Hang on. This is it. All right. Hang on. That's the wrong thing. There we go. There we are. It's all you, madam. Fire away.
All right. Let's see. Let me see what I'm gonna go with. So Generally, I like to do the really melancholy, sad stuff. I always like to describe my music as I'm either going to make you cry or I'm going to make you fall asleep, or if I'm lucky, it'll be both. And if you see me live, you're probably going to cry from laughing because I'm really awkward. And I think I'm funny sometimes because I am, in fact, a clown when I'm not a musician. And I don't know who pays me for that stuff, but they're out there. Um, so I'll stick to a less melancholy song because everybody's been down in the dumpster and all this anyway. And you'll see when I say this is one of my like most upbeat songs. So we'll see. I wrote this song, I guess a while back now. I went to India in 2018 and I played this over there a lot and it was everybody's favorite. So I like to open with it. It's an easy one. Just in time for that AC to kick in too. Long ago we sailed out into the sea. I was following him, he was not following me. So far I cannot hear them calling. I look to you, but you look down at me. I'll never reach as long as I can breathe. So far I cannot hear you now. What is it like? Long ago we depended on our dreams, and I was following him, for he was following me. I never thought that I would ever lose myself. How did we get so far in the wrong direction? I thought we had it all understood, not underwhelmed. How did we get here? I cried. How did we get here when I tried so hard to run? Blinded by mistakes I can never take back. Blinded by mistakes I can never take back. Long ago we sailed out over the ocean. Long ago we sailed out over the seas. I promise to catch you as long as you will catch me too. I promise I will help you reach your dream. Long ago we sailed out into the sea. I was following him and I hoped that he was following me. So far I cannot hear you now. Put this back on so I can hear you again. Hey, take your time. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, thanks. I'm glad because I didn't even think about warming up first, so I'm glad that's what you have to say.
They didn't hear any of that. So it was profound. It was amazing. No, they heard everything you said. They didn't hear anything I said. So, but yeah, that was amazing. I can listen to you play all day. So whether you were warmed up or not, it was great. Good job.
Hey, thanks.
So you've been playing for 11 years. You've been playing professionally for about 5 years. You have a very folksy kind of storytellery vibe to your music.
Yeah, that's accurate.
talk to me about influences. What and I hear these people, I hear people ask this question all the time. What are your
Mm,
influences? What drives your music? And it just, it makes me want to jump out of my skin and say they're original. But is it like a legit like question? You got influences? Did people like drive you to play that you wanted to?
yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Well, so I was luckily my dad had great music taste, so he raised me on like Neil Young and the Beatles and Joni Mitchell. So I think a lot of my musical drive, I like to say sometimes I'm like modern day Joni Mitchell. As soon as I can control my voice as crazily as she does. But so that was like growing up, kind of folk was like what I listened to the most, and like yeah, just all kinds of stuff like that. And then when I was in middle school or elementary school, I started listening to a girl named Lights, who is actually really electronic. She does like electronic. It's not really electronic, but when I started listening to her acoustic stuff, I was like, oh wow, like that's a whole new realm. I want to do what she does, and so that's why I started singing. And then I made a band when I was in like seventh or eighth grade, and that's how we got started there. And whenever I didn't have the band anymore, I was like, oh man, I got to play for myself. And that's how I started playing instruments. But I'd say currently my influences over the last 2 years, above anyone else, Laura Marling. She's a phenomenal artist from England. She is like my top influence, I think, at this over the last few years. And then alongside her is Adrienne Linker and Alice Phoebe Liu, who I actually found because I was playing out in the middle of like nowhere at Burning Man, and somebody came up and sat down with me for a while and just listened, and they were like, "Wow, you should check this girl out. You remind me of her." And then I fell in love, and then she changed kind of how I wrote music for the last year. So like yeah, I mean I'm very influenced by like what I see as strong independent folk female musicians. I think that's where I get a lot of my drive from. So yeah.
So how did she change the way you wrote music? That's a fascinating statement, and I don't want it to be a throwaway
Mhm.
statement. Tell me more. Like, uh, because that like writing music, that whole idea is foreign to me. I noodle around with various instruments, and I know
Mhm.
four whole chords on my guitar, or at least I did 5 years ago. Uh, how does and Phoenix Phoenix
uh
Rising says you have an awesome voice over
I love
there
her.
on the Twitch server. Um, how did it change the way you wrote? Did it tell me?
Well, I I think stylistically I got a lot of I guess ideas on how to form things differently. But one time I've been listening to interviews from her ever since I heard about her. And there's one point where she was talking about she writes really melancholy music, and she used to be kind of apologetic of that and used to always like kind of feel bad about it. And then she was like, but that's like a waste of I don't need to feel that way. Like that's bringing what it needs to the table. Like just because it's melancholy doesn't mean it's something people won't enjoy. Like we need that kind of music. So instead of like kind of, I used to be very apologetic of how melancholy I wrote because I'm like, oh, you're all here to have a good time. Let me bring you down. But she's like, how I thought about it before, she kind of emphasized it is just like it's a chance to um, invoke emotion, which I think is what I love to do with everything that I do as like a performance artist and a clown and like things like that. And as a musician, it's an opportunity to like bring different emotions out of people in places than they weren't expecting to feel them and kind of like put it on the foreground and kind of make everybody recognize that that is normal and that's like what we all experience. I guess I could sound more hippy dippy about it.
I gotcha.
But yeah.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Um, so yeah, yeah, I can just see you coming on stage. Everybody here to have a good time. Woo! I'm gonna fix that.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's exactly. And now I'm like, man, at least it's memorable. Like if it was the same upbeat poppy stuff everyone else is doing, then it wouldn't stand out.
Yeah. So
So
why can't you wear more pink and smile more? Um,
you'd be pretty if you smiled more. It's one of those moments. I
The
smile a
musical
lot when I play
equivalent
my
of,
melancholy.
yeah. I'm going to wave goodbye to my family over on Twitch, or not Twitch, Twitter. Twitter, I promised you that you would get a song and you would get a little bit of talking, and you've got it. So bye. You need to go over to the YouTube channel. Come on, chop chop. Get over to the YouTube channel. If
Chop
we get
chop.
200 subscribers on our YouTube channel before the end of the weekend, I'm going to give away a bottle of whiskey to one of those subscribers. So get over there, Twitter peoples. Yeah, there will be more songs in the second half. We're now, wow, we're at the halfway point. It is 9:30 on my watch here, so we're at the halfway
Oh
point. There
wow.
will be more songs, right?
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah,
I suppose. I
yay,
haven't
thank you.
played in a while, so I might as well.
I mean,
Right?
I sincerely, truly do appreciate you coming out of semi-quarantirement to make this appearance and share your music. And I'm gonna promise you, as soon as we get our stage set up and we're allowed to have a crowd, I'm gonna get you on my stage if I can talk you into it.
Heck yeah.
But everybody, wave bye bye to the Twitter peeps. Bye
Bye,
bye.
Tweeter.
Did
Tweet
that go?
tweets. Oh my goodness, I should have asked. Are there words I'm not allowed to say before I say them?
No,
Okay. Bye,
no.
Tots.
Um, Phoenix, Phoenix misses hearing you.
Oh, I miss Phoenix a lot.
Yeah, nice guy.
I can't wait to see people again.
Yeah, I was telling my lovely wife we were watching Hamilton yesterday or the day before. Yesterday, I think it was. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm that it was fun watching it on the screen. It was fun watching it in the comfort of our own living room, watching it on the TV. But when they're doing the live music and the live singing and everything comes up to a crescendo and the crowd erupts in applause and there's just that energy uh, and a live crowd in front of an actual performer, that's an energy that you just don't quite get the same translation of in your living room. And I miss doing things and seeing people and going places. And it's frustrating because I would also like to have people in doing things and being places at my distillery, but people keep not wearing masks, so it makes it very hard to open up my store.
Well, that's
People,
ungodly. Do you want to hear a funny story?
I
You
do.
say
I
you
would
like
love to hear a funny
I
story.
like stories. Well, this is a funny story. I
Can you
hope
can you
nobody
put
gets
a
offended.
guitar riff in E minor behind it and kind of make it melancholy? I'm just kidding.
I could try. I don't
Tell
know
your
if my
story.
mind. So one thing at a time on these days. Okay, I've been moving slow, but no, this goes along with the lovely people who think wearing masks is invasive on their rights and whatnot. But so I was in California for a little while. I've been going back and forth to California while nothing's going on because my family lives out there, and
Hmm.
so I had just gotten back from California a few weeks back, and I went out to eat with my mom at this cute little diner. It was the day after they started enforcing masks in restaurants and whatnot, and really small little place. Everybody was spaced out really well. Dogs don't come after me for going out to a restaurant. I was safe about it, okay? But so we're like sitting down eating, and on the door there's a bunch of signs that say if you don't wear a mask, you can't come in. Mask required. It's all over the place. And so, like, once you go in and sit down at your table, you can take your mask off. But to get
Right.
in the door, you got to wear a mask. And so this couple walks in, and it's like this short, frumpy, round little redneck man with long blonde. I mean, it was very gray hair. You could tell he used to be blonde, but very gray hair with like nice bald spot up there. Is classy individual. And then his what I assume to be his wife, is tall, thin lady, also gray hair, really pretty actually. And they walk in without masks, and the lady behind the counter is like, "Hey, do y'all have your masks?" And she was like, "Oh, we don't wear those," very proudly. And she was like, "Okay, well then you can leave because you have to have a mask." And they're like arguing with her, yelling across this restaurant. Like they're like a good distance away from each other. They're yelling about it. And she's like, "Well, like it's a rule. You can't come in if you don't have it. I'm sorry, you have to go. Just go get a mask, and you can come in. You can take it off when you sit down. And they're like, you can't do that. You can't enforce that. That's wrong. And finally, they turn around and walk out, and the guy turns around and he says, "Those who fear death don't have to go to heaven." And then he storms out, and I'm just sitting there like, what does that mean? Is he gonna come in and start like shooting up the place? Like, what the heck does that mean,
Yeah, that would
man?
make me nervous. Yeah.
Like, what do people genuinely think that wearing a mask and like making other people more comfortable and like less at risk is like against God? I don't.
Their silly badge of honor. I don't understand it. It doesn't make any sense to me. Wear your damn mask, and when you're out in public. I've forgotten it a couple of times at the house, and I felt like I'm like, I need to go and get stuff at the store,
Yeah.
and I don't have my mask, so I had to go drive all the way back home to get it because I wasn't going to go into HEB. Oh, I can't go into HEB. I wasn't going to go into Home Depot that particular day, uh, and I felt going to the drive-through, and I'm like, I'll just take my deadly fat burger, thank you. Uh, don't breathe at me, please. Yeah,
Oh
and
man.
it legitimately makes me chuckle that the same people who are like, I'm not going to wear your stupid mask and you can't stop me from coming into your business, are the exact same people who are like, that baker has a right not to make a cake for those gays. Like, y'all need to figure out whether or not businesses have the right to refuse service or not. I mean, y'all, get your stories under control. That's all I'm
Oh,
saying.
I'm.
And wear your
Yeah,
damn mask before you come in my distillery.
in downtown the other day at Market Square, they had a like an anti-mask protest rally. It was described to me as a bunch of Karens from the burbs, which is hilarious. And so it's a bunch of people storming around about how not like having to wear a mask is taking away their rights, and it's the first step the government is doing to take away our rights. But okay, first of all, on that note, if you think that's the first step of our government taking away our rights, you're
Yeah.
not paying attention. But
Like the government just started taking our rights away just now.
Just with that mask,
just
not
now,
literally
remember?
anything else. But it just cracks me up. And so there was somebody out there that there was a group of people that went out that were like pro masks people that made an appearance. And it sounds so weird to say pro mask, but they came out with their signs and stuff, and like some of the BLM people were out there and things like that. And this guy had a sign that said like, wear your damn mask, hashtag all lives matter, because it's the same group of people that are going around like, no, you can't say black lives matter, all lives matter, until it's actually about a deadly virus, and then no, I don't need to wear a mask for your health
Yeah.
and safety. Like, I don't know, it's like, pick your side and stick to it.
All lives matter, but I don't give a shit about your health and safety. Watch.
And by all lives, I mean mine.
Mine.
Like,
and by life,
like,
I mean ability to do whatever the hell I want, whenever the hell I want to do it, because freedom. Anyway.
Because you took away my haircut. I'm sorry.
Real men don't need haircuts.
Yeah.
I do my own. Actually, I got in that discussion with somebody. They're like, "What are you all hairy and shaggy down to your?" I'm like, "No, it's not that we don't have to cut our hair. I still have to cut it." Well, I take that back. I don't have to cut it. I want to cut it occasionally, but I don't have a compulsion that I have to have, Jenny like massage my scalp every month. I don't need that. That's not a thing that needs to happen. Relax. Just ask Justin Trudeau. He's good. I mean, and we know good and damn well Donald Trump doesn't need a haircut. That doesn't grow.
Don't we? Oh, that's yeah.
But enough of that.
Goodness. Yeah, I didn't mean to get political.
I want to open up my store. She wants to go back and perform. You can hear some of this delicious, wonderful ear candy in places that we are not able to hear ear candy right now. And you have a silky, wonderful, beautiful voice, nice and folksy. I'm gonna make you blush. I'm gonna do my damnedest to make you blush tonight because I am such a huge fan. You got one? You got another one for us?
I could. Let me think. So I have one. I have one song that's like the new song, and I haven't quite finished it yet. I'm fiddling around with it. I might break it out for you guys. I'm probably gonna screw it up because I just wrote it, and like I said, I'm fiddling around with it.
We don't know the words, so we wouldn't know.
This is true, but I can't mess up and not tell it myself because I don't know. It's like a thing.
See, when I was in band in high school, my band directors always said, never ever ever like stop when you go off and do a solo in the middle of the football field. Don't ever stop and try and get back in line. Just like get the next turn and get back in line that way. Otherwise, everybody knows you made a mistake. But if it's like a triangle here and you're like right in the middle, nobody knows you're not supposed to be there. And I've taken that lesson to heart ever since high school. Like if I'm just wandering off in the middle of the field, I'm going to do it proudly until I can figure out how to get back in my spot, and maybe nobody will notice.
Yeah, I go back. I like through the song, I'm good to go, and then after, I'm like, we'll pretend that didn't. I don't know. If I call it out, then I know that I messed up.
All right. Well, there you go. I'm going to put the spotlight back on you and let you do the thing.
All right, sounds good. All right, we're going to give this a shot. Tell me when you're ready. All right, I'm going to move this off again so you can hear myself in my full glory. Let go of your heart, or you will only be disappointed, and dream from the start, or you may fall asleep before the good parts. Watch me now, I have been begging you. Watch me now, I don't understand, what have I done? I am still fearful for the ones that we lost. It was just a story written on the walls of our hallways. All that they've seen, if only the walls could speak, they would scream. Wait for me now, they said settle for me now. I want you to feel me, crush your head between my arms, between my hips, and I'm going home again. And what have I done? I told myself not to run away, but run head on. But instead I froze, stuck to my seat. I could not feel my toes. What have I done? I have forsaken you to think you were the one. For looking back, my bones are shaking too, and I should have run instead of trying to make the best of this. I should have run. let go of your heart, or you will only be disappointed. And dream from the start. Don't let anyone take it from you. In the back. Hey, thank you. Oh, good. I'm glad you think so. That is the most far away from my style that I've ever done. And it's my boyfriend's favorite. And he's like, that's the one you got to record now. And I'm like, it's not like anything I usually do. So, cool.
Yeah, my audio was off again. But that was very cool. Bravo, yay.
Yay, thanks.
We got Phoenix is still watching. She says woo. And yay. W. Kurt is watching over on the YouTube. He says you have a beautiful, let me get the quote right. She's great, like that folksy sound. So there you go.
Heck yeah. Well, thank you very much.
It's not just
glad
me.
That still falls in folk.
Yeah. Okay, so there was a specific, that was not like minor chords and melancholy. That was that had a sound that was a little bit more up. I mean, it was.
Yeah. That's I correct my first statement. That's probably one of the most upbeat songs I have now, but I don't count it because it's not like done. But I guess are any of them ever really done? That's what I'm learning. It's not.
That's awesome. I'm blown away. I'm super excited. As our first musical guest of the show, what I've decided to do for all y'all out there watching, for your edification, if you're even remotely interested, I've decided to take our Tuesday show and kind of turn them into a musical guest show. And this was the first one. I wanted to see how this worked. And you have been, I mean, this has been fantastic. Do my little housekeeping thing. You do a little song, we chat for a little bit. You do another song, we can chat for a little bit more. They on the Cabin Fever live stream network, they don't have anybody after us at 10 o'clock on Tuesdays. So once we cut to our final credit scene, the final logo, support your local artist scene. If you're still available, if you've still got a few minutes, and I can talk you into doing another song kind of in the post show, you can keep you around for another 5 minutes. Would you be willing to do that?
Yeah, I don't see why not. What time you're at? I'm sure. How much depends on how much longer you're asking me to stick around.
Well, we're talking 10 to 10:15 ish, not like till midnight. I'm not going to keep you all night. I got stuff I got to do. I've got some French lessons I got to take and all this other crap. So
French lessons. Just casually throw that out there.
Yeah. Oh well, that's my quarantine project. I'm on day 100 of Duolingo. Just learning some French, whatever. Bonjour.
That's cool. Bonjour. Merci.
I can maybe order something from a library.
That's cool. I can say eau de crayons. That's it.
That's crayons, right?
I think it means pencil neck.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I could do. Well,
I don't know.
I'd have to.
I could be wrong, to be honest. That's what I thought it meant.
I could definitely order a taza de bière. I could do that. I definitely have a cup of beer.
Awesome. That's all you need.
Un verre de bière, I think, is a glass of beer. I don't know what the word for whiskey is yet, but I'm pretty sure it's whiskey.
It'll come naturally to you whenever you learn it.
Would it be appropriate to go to France and order whiskey? Or do you just have to order wine? That would be a very
American thing to do. I know nothing about France. I know almost less than nothing about France. I think the language is beautiful, and I think the boys are real nice too. But that's about all I
know. My lovely wife, she studied abroad in France. She studied overseas in France. She has never in her life studied abroad that I know of. But I have promised her that at some point I will bring her back to France, and she is extremely nervous about bringing me among the French people that she loves, because she just knows I'm going to get a pencil thin mustache
Oh
and
yeah.
beat up a mime.
That's the French thing to do. If you don't do that, things were you ever really in France?
Yeah, I know, right? I mean, obviously. So, coolest gig you played? Where at?
Oh goodness. Uh, you know, that's a good question. When I was in India, I
Alaska.
played at a lot
No,
of places. I wish. No, I've never been to
yeah,
Alaska.
because
I've
it's
been
because
on
it's
Alaskan Airlines.
because it's at the North Pole. Alaska, the coolest. Anyway, go ahead.
Ha! I am so slow today. So ashamed of that was a good one, and I didn't pay
No,
it
it
the
wasn't. Don't
appropriate
encourage me.
respect.
Don't
I will
encourage me.
always encourage bad jokes. That is one thing that should always be encouraged. Terrible jokes.
Fair
Keeps us
enough.
going.
Okay, we'll do
Haven't
that.
you seen memes? That's like their whole basis.
The other quarantine project that I've been doing, the Twitter people are gone, but every morning it started off. Okay, so since the beginning of March or the middle of March, when we got back and we're officially in quarantine mode, I started
Mhm.
doing a daily reminder that today is Tuesday, it's March 18th, it's a Wednesday or March 19th, whatever day it is. I started doing a daily reminder, mostly for me, so that I would remind myself of the things, A, what day it is, and B, stuff I have to do today.
Mhm.
And now it has become kind of a daily today. This is today's date, and here's a stupid thing to say, like on that date. So it's bad jokes, puns, limericks, haikus, uh, just anything I can throw out there to entertain the crap out of myself and remind myself what day it is. And on more than one occasion, I've gotten the wrong day or the wrong month. And that was embarrassing because it was like June, and I said it was June 15th or something. I said it's May 15th. Yeah. And what I said on that specific day was, you only get one of these, so make it count. When in fact it was the second one. Yeah. Yeah, it was
Honestly, that's even better
that
than
was
it
that was a
going
great
right.
mistake.
That also describes how all of us are feeling. So who knows what day it is anymore?
Yeah, today is March 123rd. Good Lord. Anyway, so I'm
Exactly.
sorry, I stepped all over your the answer to the question. Coolest gig you played, coolest place
Oh,
you played, best gig you've played. Where's it been?
hmm. I was in India for a little while and I played a lot over there because I was able to trade like food and accommodation for music performances or fire performances at some places. So
India,
that's probably India was like my favorite time ever.
like the
So
subcontinent, India,
like India over way over there in
not
Asia. Yeah.
Indiana,
India.
India, the country
India.
that's
The
way out
whole
there. That
place. Way on the whole other side of the planet.
cool with the
Directly on
temples and
the
the
other
cows and
side.
the
Yeah, got a lot of
vegetarians and all that
cows.
stuff. That is
A
awesome.
lot of all that. Yeah, so that was fun. So I think um as far as like there, it was just really it was a different experience. That was really cool. Um I'm trying to think of like
God, that would be is okay. So you how long did you play in India? How long was that?
well, I was there for 5 months in 2018 on a I was there like on a circus tour and then I went off on my own and just kind of like stayed because I it was great. But
Wow.
there's an organization called Performers Without Borders. So it's like a nonprofit. Volunteers go to well, they have tours in India, Nicaragua, and Kenya.
Uh huh.
And we teach like circus and performance arts in schools and orphanages throughout the country. So we were on tour for 3 months and then I traveled for 2 months after that. So yeah, it's so cool. And I was supposed to be there. I guess I would be getting back right about now, but I was supposed to be there for the first 6 months of this year and then saw the
Wow.
writing on the wall and didn't go. And so that was it.
Well,
That's
I'm gonna call it. That's the coolest place you performed. That's cool.
yeah, it was pretty cool.
I
Yeah.
dare you to top it. Just whatever. Yeah, I was in India.
That's the plan.
I was in St. Louis. Nope, not as cool. Give me another one. Vegas. Nope, not as cool. Give me another one. New Orleans. Nope, not
Vegas,
as
I
cool.
did.
Give me
I
another one.
have
Keep going.
so like I have played in Vegas before because I got on the way back from Burning Man last year.
Mm-hmm.
my vehicle, I have like a little minibus. It broke down because I got the transmission redone and
That's right.
they didn't do a good job. Yeah, and so it sprung a leak, and then I had a whole bunch of problems, and a bearing broke, and I got stuck in Vegas for a week, and
Yeah,
it
yeah,
was
that's
not.
right. You were stranded on the road
Yeah.
on the way back. I remember reading, yeah.
Oh yeah, twice. We were stranded twice. Once in like right past Reno, and then once in Vegas. And I had two friends with me, and they ended up flying home because they had work. And I was like, oh, whatever. I have friends here. Like, I'll get some gigs. It's not a problem. For whatever freaking reason, the 1 week I was there was like no events that I could get on. There was barely anything happening. I had one lead to do like promo girl stuff, like pass out flyers at an event. And like that was it. It was just like nothing. But I went and found an open mic one of the nights I was there because I had my guitar. And so I went and played at this open mic that ended up being like a jazz club in a hotel. And it was cool because an entire band would back you. You like tell them what songs you want to play, and like they'll play with you. And that was actually really, really cool. I met some really cool people. I ended up meeting a guy, the guy that was playing guitar in the band ended up being from Houston, and he went to the High School of Performing and Visual Arts. And it was just a crazy coincidence. So like it was pretty cool. That was the only good thing I have to say about Vegas. I did not like
Oh
Vegas.
wow. I mean, dude, like for real, I could sit here and listen to you tell this story. Like stories from the road are my favorite kind of stories. When you just like, I mean, you go to Vegas or you go to Burning Man, your car breaks down, your way home to Vegas. You decide, whatever, I'm just gonna hang out, let my car get fixed to see if I can find some gigs. You just like, and then you meet this dude, and then like you know, it leads to this other thing, and it goes to this other thing, and then yeah, eventually I made my way back home. It's like that is the yeah, those stories. I love those stories.
Right.
They're some of my absolute favorite stories in the whole wide world. Back my first year in college, over winter break, I decided to take a Greyhound bus to El Paso for no particular reason, and just see who I met on the bus and who I met on the way back. And I ended up meeting this guy, God's honest truth, who had faked his own death, and it had been 5 years, and he was heading back to meet his family and let them know that, hey, by the way, I'm not actually dead. And it was
What?
I mean, he was telling me the story, and I don't even remember half the details because, this was 25 years ago, and I jotted down in my notes as best I could back then. I lost the notebook; it's in these piles of books over here somewhere. But it was the coolest story, and uh, he faked his own death so that he could get away from him for a while because he had inheritance that he didn't want them to they were messing with it or whatever, and he had to stay away long enough so that they like he could get everything settled in. But if he stayed away for too long, it was just going to pass through probate, so that's why he was coming back. And yeah, it was
What?
a fascinating story. And those are some of my favorite stories, and that's one of the reasons why me and my wife we do when we go on our road trips. It annoys the crap out of her because I talk to all the people in the KOAs. And she's like, they could be murderers. I'm like, yeah, I know. They have
What do
great
you care
stories.
about
Murderers
him?
have the best stories and some pretty awesome candy. Um, my guy over here on YouTube has a specific question for you. W. Kurt, he wants to know, do you know Vendaros Circus? Vendaros, Vendaros Circus.
Let's look it up on the internet. I don't know if I do.
Okay.
Oh, here it
Well, while you
is.
look that
They're
up
in
on the internet, I'm
Houston.
going to see what Phoenix says.
I don't think I do know who that is actually.
Vidaro Circus. So that would be a probably no.
I do not know, but it's a Houston circus group, which is cool.
Yeah.
Or they perform in Houston.
Hmm?
Their website is very cool. I like their website. I don't know who they are, but I will look into them more.
Gotcha. Phoenix says, I wish I could recall one of my favorite songs you wrote. All I know, it's one of your sadder memory lane songs.
Okay, ask her if it's the one about the girl in the sea or the one about my best friend
I
that
think you
isn't my
just asked
best
her.
friend anymore. I just asked you. I am talking to you. This isn't, you're not middlemanning. You just can see the things
I don't
enhancing.
need to relay that
Well,
message. Phoenix, you heard it.
there. Is it the one about the girl in the sea or the one about my best friend that's not my best friend anymore? Those are my two peak sad songs. See what she
Kurt says
says.
he interviewed that circus for his Zoom show. So
Oh, very cool.
I may have
Or
to
Zoom
gather
shows.
up with him and swap some drinks over Zoom.
Zoom friend.
Zoom is this is an amazing. I mean, it's this software that was apparently out there for so long. My previous life as when I worked in the bank, I could have had so many client meetings face to face
Yeah.
with this technology. But working for a major regional bank in the United States of America, apparently they never thought that, hey, we could teleconference in and just not have to actually buy a plane ticket and go to Madison, Wisconsin, or uh, Jiminy fuck whatever, Georgia, or wherever the hell these people
Right.
are in Bootlick, Mississippi. I could have saved so much money and so much time.
Yeah. Oh, this has changed society. I mean, seeing how many people work from home and have meetings like that for sure, I think is going to stick for a long time.
I hope it does, because traffic here has been amazing. The handful of times that I've had to go south from Humble, the traffic on 59 is just awesome. Phoenix says she has no idea, but best friend sounds more right.
That might be. Is it that time? Is it
Oh
time for
crap!
another
It
diddle?
is.
You got
We're done.
we're at
It is.
that
It is the
mark.
end of the show.
Oh
Time got
wow.
away from me with our storytelling.
Bing
It
bam
is.
boo.
Okay, so this is what we're gonna do. Plug your stuff real quick. What do you have to plug?
Keep up with me on social media, and at some point I'll start doing live streams again, and I am about to record, and I'm probably just going to record one song and release a single, and you guys can try to tell me what song you think I should record, because I don't know. Other than that, Facebook, Instagram, those things are great. I don't post a lot, but I should start doing that again, because I shouldn't be hiding from the world anymore, because it's gonna keep going without you, kids, so catch up.
Well, there you go.
There you go.
Since this is officially a 1 hour show, this is where I do my sign off. Cheers to everybody out there. This is our parting shot. Be awesome, stand tall, drink humble, wear your damn mask. We will hopefully see you all in person in the very, very near future. Cheers and good night. Stick around for the post-show show, which Lou'a Louise has been so kind and generous to hang out with us. Cheers.
Cheers.
Okay, so now the audio is still going on. They can hear us talking.
Oh yeah.
So they can, if they stick around, they will be able to hear another show. Don't go anywhere, people.
That's
so
cool.
this is
So is this where you go to Cabin Fever too?
Yeah, it's on Cabin Fever. It's still there.
Wow.
It's on the Cabin Fever network. It's on my YouTube right now. In fact, Michael just popped in. They can hear us in the background. I'm gonna cut the audio. Dun, dun. We're back. So yeah, we're back, and it's the more casual me. Let's go with the
switch up the glass. I like this glasses game. I gotta step up my changing out glasses for moods.
Yeah, all right. So these blue lenses are polarized. I can't really see much of anything. But okay, so you have the two songs that the boy. God, I can't see anything. We go with the little ones. Michael Sladek just showed up. He's one of our Roughneck Social Club members. Phoenix says she wants another song, and Kurt, I don't know what your first name is. I'll just call you W. He has officially invited us both to a Zoom show that started 16 weeks ago, which is a quarantine happy hour show. That's about when we started this, about 16 weeks ago, because we're on show number 31 by my count. I probably missed a couple that are in there too. So, tell you what, can you just give us a couple more songs, and then I'm going to give you the floor. Phoenix had those two. You suggested two songs that she said.
Songs. All right, I'll start with that. I think this is the. Oh, I don't think I use a capo with this. I haven't played this in a long time.
Okay.
I think. Well, okay, we'll start with the best friend song.
I'm gonna set me back in the background again, and then Mr. Kurt says his first name is Walter. Hi, Walter. I'm going to put myself back in the background, and if you would be so kind, give us a couple of songs, and then I'll pop back in and give you let you go, and you can go off and do whatever you need to do. Cool.
Sounds great. I'm trying to figure out how to play that song. You see, I haven't been playing my stuff. Ha! I figured it out. Okay, Phoenix. You always pick the good songs. So I haven't played this one in a while. It probably doesn't sound the saddest, but it's the saddest to me because of the backstory, which is like I had a real good best friend for 7 years, and then we got in a fight over gas money in Colorado one time and like stopped being friends. And now they live in Tennessee, and I haven't talked to them in a few years, but maybe one day I'll play them this song and they'll be sad too. I don't know. Take this off too. I'm thinking about it. Quietly waiting for tomorrow to come. Patiently waiting for I know she's the one. She's the one that'll settle my heart and my soul. Oh, I feel for nothing, I'm letting her go. Remember the taste of me on your tongue. Oh, we were just kids trying to have some fun. But the world didn't see us for who we are. No, the world didn't see us for who we are. We used to drive around all night, blasting our music when in the red light. Oh, and we'd freak out and laugh it off. Never thought that I would see you go. Oh, but who am I kidding? I pushed you away. Oh, ever so slowly, day by day. Now all I can do is sit here and wait. I'll see you again someday, I pray. It's you call my name, and I know the truth. Oh, once again, and today we will sing, tomorrow may come, and I'll waste my days sitting in that sun. Oh, today we will sing, tomorrow may come, and then I'll waste my days sitting in the sun. Yes, today we will sing, tomorrow may come, and then I'll waste my days sitting in the sun. It's you, I know that it's you, I know that it's you. Dun-dun. I haven't played that in a long time, so she back. All right. I guess I'll do one more. I think that was the plan, and then I'll pass you off to the feverish cabin over there. Let's think. Trying to think of one I don't always play much. I don't think I played this one. Let's see if I can remember it. This song I wrote this song when I was probably 15 years old. I don't know what about or who about, but goddamn. And when I found you, come around that corner, I didn't question for a second that I had wasted my time. You make me feel like I am falling apart. Where does this seem to start? And where is it going to end? You make me feel like I am falling apart. Oh, where does this seem to start? And where is it going to end? Well, I'm wasting my time, and I don't know why. You know I loved you when there was nothing left to love. I tried. Oh yes, I tried. Well, now I'm wasting my head again. Yeah, I'm wasting my head again. Something like that. I think that's how that went. Hey, thank you.
Mic is muted. There we go. That was amazing. Thank you so much. Lou'a Louise, everybody, give her a big hand. There's a big hand.
One big hand.
That's a big hand.
I was hoping you were gonna do that. Glad that happened.
Thank you so much. This has been a fantastic launching of the musical guest Tuesdays for the show. I couldn't have asked for a better guest. I couldn't have asked for better music. Singer, songwriter, storyteller, Lou'a Louise. Everybody give her a big hand. Support her there. There's her Venmo right over there. Just went past. You can support this fabulous musician directly through Venmo. Go to her Facebooks and Instagrams and all that stuff. Thank all y'all for sticking around for the after party and getting a couple of bonus songs out of her. Madam, anything else you want to add?
Thank you for having me. I'm honored to be a first musical guest. It's nice coming out of my cave to hang out with you.
Thank you much.
And it's nice to see your face again, whether it be virtually. I look forward to hugging you when I can see you in person again.
Well, you know, we're going to have a stage at the new shop, and you are welcome. You have an open invitation. You can come to that stage anytime we're open and just plop a chair down and play.
Awesome.
I will feed you all the food and booze, and I'll even give you money.
Oh, I do like all of these things. That sounds great.
Food and booze and money. What more could you ask for, right? As
That's
y'all will
really
notice,
it.
I switched back to the shades I was more comfortable with. These,
I like those. I like
yeah.
the blue. Looks nice.
I tried going with the casual ones, but this just,
Too
yeah.
cash.
The blue ones fit my face better. They're bigger. They fit my face better. These feel like they're too small. They don't fit quite right. But I'm gonna babble for a while, so I'm just gonna say good night. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me, and I'll see you guys soon.
Absolutely. Bye bye.
Ta-da!
How do I see here? That button there, and then we will. Whoop. Hey, now it's all me. Hey, okay. So that was the after party. There's nobody following us. It is 10 after 10. I've got a couple of things that I'll want to wrap up the show with. As you know, I'm the Old Humble guy. Old Humble Distilling Company is what I do. We make whiskey. You can support your local artist, Lou'a Louise, who was just on the show. You go find her on the Instagram, find her on the Facebooks. A few weeks back, she was doing morning, like coffee in the morning, um, kind of a morning performance that she would do. She'd wake up and play, and it was a really fun little way to wake up. There's her Venmo right there. You can support her directly. You can support us directly by going to Specs and buying a bottle of our whiskey. You need to know what it looks like. It is fairly easy. There's the logo down there in the corner. Old Humble with the oil rig. This is our label. That's our special reserve. We've got a bottle of our straight whiskey. Do I have a bottle of our straight whiskey? You'd think I have a bottle of the straight whiskey handy. Do I have a bottle? Yeah, there we go. There's the straight whiskey label. It's the silver label. You can find it all over the state of Texas. So go out and buy some. We are anxiously awaiting the day when we can open up our tasting room and distillery to the public. Should be just a matter of a few more weeks. In the meantime, wear your mask and do all that stuff because that's really important, so that we can make sure that us and other small businesses are able to open to the public. You know, take care of yourselves. Be safe. Be clean. Wash your hands. Do your best to avoid large crowds. Wear your mask when you can't. Um, and mad props to all you fine folks out there who are frontline workers and keeping everything going. We appreciate your service, your work, and everything you're doing. Phoenix wants to know what days and times it'll be open when it's open. We will likely be open on Thursday evening, like 5 to 9, Friday evening 5 to 9, and Saturday probably from noon to 9. For sure, the Saturday will be open from noon to 9, and when we'll probably start backfilling the days on Thursdays and Fridays, and we may end up being open every day of the week if we have time and business for it. And if we still have crowd limitations, what we may end up doing is doing a subscription type service where it's subscribers to the YouTube channel. We'll do a live show with 5 or 10 people in the distillery tasting room. And the people in the distillery tasting room would be members of our Roughneck Social Club. The Roughneck Social Club being a membership-only club that you can pay. It's $100 a year for an annual membership. You can go to our website, oldhumbledistilling.com, click on the Roughneck Social Club link, and it will get you your annual subscription to that. You're very welcome, Michael. By the way, this will be on the YouTube channel. Anytime you want to go watch it, it's there. So those folks will be able to see it live, and it'll be limited to 5 to maybe 10 people in that tasting room. But if you want to catch it as a live broadcast, then it'll be a subscription on the YouTube channel, whatever it is, $2 a month, $5 a month, whatever it is to catch it not live on the YouTube channel. So we're working on that to be able to do the live broadcast so that we can have shows, so we can sell cocktails, so we can have people out and still be able to do the shows and enjoy our local artists. So we're working on all that stuff, but it'll probably be another 4 to 6 weeks before we actually open up the doors. But we're working on it. really are. And then when we do open up the doors, we have a coffee liqueur we're working on. We have a private label black coffee that we're working on. We're working on several new cocktails. We have our bourbon, we have our straight whiskey, we have our special reserve. I'm working on a recipe for a rice-based whiskey, rice whiskey, working on a rye. Yeah, you heard that right. Rice. Rice, as in little white grains. A rice whiskey, a rye whiskey, which is not rice, it's rye. That's two totally different things. We're going to be a member of the Texas Whiskey Association, which puts that on the Texas Whiskey Trail, which is like a whiskey passport. You can get your passport stamped. What YouTube channel? Phoenix wants to know the YouTube channel. Let me see. Do I have that? Go to YouTube, look up Old Humble Distilling. Old Humble Distilling on YouTube. Let me find that link real fast, and I will plop it down in the Twitch channel. The Twitch channel, I'm a big fan of the Twitch channel. I want to make sure we will continue to broadcast things on the Twitch channel, especially with the Cabin Fever Live folks, because they've been super duper supportive. I'll probably keep this format show on the Twitch channel and this format show through the fine folks with Cabin Fever live stream. But the other shows that we do, the live shows at the distillery, will likely be those shows that just go straight through the YouTube. So here is the link. If you can't find it, there it is. It's a subscriber link. It should bring you where you need to go. No worries. Come on, do that thing, and then you should be good to go. Guys, I super duper really do. Oh, we have 95 subscribers. I've added 2 more subscribers since the beginning of the day, since the beginning of the show, rather. I really super duper appreciate you coming and catching the show. I know supporting Lou'a Louise was also a big part of that, and I appreciate y'all supporting her and hearing her play. She is an what is our whiskey currently made from? Our whiskey, both of these whiskeys are 90% corn and 10% malted barley. The straight whiskey, that's the silver label, the straight whiskey is made from 90% corn, 10% malted barley, and aged 5 years in used bourbon barrels. The special reserve is made when we take some of our straight whiskey and put it back in barrels and age it a second time, finishing it in small 5-gallon barrels. My Boomtown bourbon, there's a better bottle. This is our Boomtown bourbon. Boomtown bourbon is a traditional tri-grain bourbon made from 75% corn, give or take, and the balance of the rest of it is split between rye and malted barley, and that's aged between 6 and 9 months in 5-gallon barrels, and that is made 100% inside the distillery. That is, that's the stuff that we need to make more of, and we're going to. That's the whole reason we moved into a new shop, so that we can make more of it. I can plug in my big 100-gallon stills, and we can start pumping that shit out like crazy. I can't wait. It's gonna be amazing. Thank you, Phoenix, for another sub on our YouTube. If we get 200 subscriptions on that YouTube channel before the end of Sunday, July 12th, I'll give away a bottle of that special reserve. So tell your friends. Share the page, tell your friends, sign up. One of those 200 subscribers will get that bottle of whiskey. It'll be signed by me, silver pen. Hell, I'll even deliver it to your house personally. If it's in the Houston metro area, I'll deliver it personally. If it's not in the Houston metro area, I'm going to put it in a box and send it out. I'm not going to drive to Dallas and deliver a bottle of whiskey. Anywho, so that is the show. We're a full 21 minutes past our closing time. This is easily one of my favorite shows that we've done, and I'm really glad we were able to get this thing done with a really talented artist. I'm hoping we will see her on our stage at the distillery when we open up our doors, and I'm hoping you will get a chance to see her on our stage as well. She's a fabulous singer, fabulous songwriter, fabulous guitar player. She is just I'm a super duper fanboy. That's it. That's the end of our broadcast day. That's the end of the broadcast day on the Cabin Fever Network. That's the end of the broadcast day on the Old Humble Guy Twitch network. Y'all can find me on the Instagrams and on the Twitters and on the Facebooks and on the on the website oldhumbledistilling.com. Twitter is old_humble. Instagram is Old Humble Distilling. Facebook is Old Humble Distilling. You can find me. I'm all over the place. Hopefully, you will be able to find me in Specs when we get back out there in September doing tastings. And, hey, you'll let me put my junk in your mouth and you'll take home a bottle. Yeah. Looking forward to that. All right, guys, this is the end of our broadcast day. Thank you for tuning in to the Cabin Fever live stream network. Thank you for tuning in to the Old Humble Guy on Twitch. Thank you for tuning into the Old Humble Distilling channel on YouTube. And thank you for tuning into the Old Humble Distilling channel on Twitter. This is the end of our broadcast day. Good night. Be awesome. Drink humble.